Hey, good evening from Japan. This is Gray from Wakasashi's Tea House. How are you doing? Are you good? Are you genki? Are you waking up over in the States? Are you having some nice lunch in the UK or Europe? I hope whatever you're doing, wherever you are, as I say, very genki. So I've been working tonight on a review of the new Amazing Spider-Man issue. A little bit of a sarcastic review, so looking forward to getting that dropped, hopefully, after this live stream. But I wanted to bring this news to any comic fans out there, your attention, because this is something I've noticed happening over the last not a few months, maybe the last 2 or 3 months. It's really strange. And it's about the comic book review site, Comicbook Roundup, which, okay, it's not a massive site, but it's been going for quite a long time. It's a little bit infamous these days for having what we call too many 10 out of 10 comics. So you get certain review sites which, give really high marks to so many comics that you're left wondering, what is a really good comic? How can you define a great comic like, say, The Dark Knight Returns or Watchmen if you're giving 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 to, Miss Marvel or the latest Deadpool where all they're doing is eating food? Yeah, very strange. But there are some good review sites on this website, and I recommend either the Weird Science DC Comics or the Weird Science Marvel Comics. They always give really honest reviews, very, very fair. They tell you when something's good, they tell you when something's crap. So, yeah, what I've noticed is, good morning. We have a couple of people in the chat before I start waffling off on one. We've got White Rabbit 33, hail, good to see you. And Leia Rose, good morning to you. I hope you're good, hope you're genki. Yeah, I'm going on a little bit of a waffle today because Spawn, believe it or not, the Spawn comics, which are very popular now. They've had a surge in popularity since the since the launch of the extended Spawn universe last year. It's where you currently have 4 titles. There used to be just the main Spawn comic, which reached 300 issues a couple of years ago. That's when I started buying it. So now we've got Spawn, we have King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and The Scorch. So 4 titles. But if you go to Comic Book Roundup, especially like when there's a new Spawn title out, it doesn't even show if it's out or not. It's weird. It's not so much, I don't know if it's being hidden on purpose, but you have to physically type it out, look in the search box to find it. Click on the new releases for this week. I'm going to show you a photo, give you an example. So this week we have the new issue of Spawn just came out. It's issue 338. I just dropped a review. Here we go. Just let me pause in case I start roboting. I know I get so paranoid when I share something on StreamYard. Sometimes I go weird. Here it is, as you can see. This is Image Comics. Now, the Spawn comics are all published by Image. As I say, there are 4 titles, but there's one out this week, and it's Spawn 338. Look down the list of Image Comics there. You've got All Against All, Bloodstained Teeth, Gospel, Little Monsters, Monarch, Time Before Time, 2 Graves, and then a Love Everlasting Volume 1 trade paperback. So there's no S, there's nothing for Spawn there. So what's going on? This is weird, isn't it? Let me stop sharing that. So what I did, I dropped a review of it today. It does show up if you search for it. Now, the best thing to do is to try and share this as I'm doing it. Let's see if Gray can work it out. Here we go. Going to share screen. Let me just double check. Is that showing for you? There we go. So we got Comic Book Roundup. As I say, not the greatest review site, but it does a kind of, a conglomeration, is that the right word, of different comic book review sites reviews, and it puts them together. It gives an average score. So if you've got like 10 different reviews saying this is 9 out of 10, it's going to get a very high score. Let's have a look at one. For example, we've got the new issue of Batman, which came out this week. I reviewed it on my channel. If you haven't seen it, please check that out. But here we go, issue 132, and it's got a critic rating of 8.1. The user rating's 8, so both pretty good scores. And if you scroll down here, you can see there are 13 critic reviews. They go up from 9.5, 9, 9, 9, 8.8s. Pretty high. Now this is one I always look for, Weird Science. Can you see this one here? Weird Science by Gabe Hernandez. He always gives a really good review, a solid review, and you can pretty much trust what he's going to say. And scroll down a bit more. Then we've got Batman News, which is another good site. They, they're definitely not shills. They will tell you if they don't like something, which this reviewer did. He didn't like this one at all. I wouldn't say it was a 5 out of 10. I gave it maybe 6.5 to 7. And I think that's being fair. Okay, so that's Batman. Let me go back to this week's reviews. So we scroll down, we've got the different indie publishers as well. You've got Black Mask, Boom, Dark Horse Comics, still going. DC, of course, a lot by them, of course, and then Dynamite, Fantagraphic Books, Graphics, IDW, and then we get down to Image. And I had to double check. I went down again and it's like, look, there's no Spawn there, is there? Spawn is a big seller. It's a big title. It should be there. So if you look at this and you didn't know about it, that suggests it's not even out, yeah? Well, it is because I bought it and I reviewed it. So I'll go into the search box here, type in Spawn. Should come up. You get quite a lot of listings, but here we go. This is the current run. So it's, wow. I mean, it's up to issue 338, believe it or not. Now look at this. Look at this. Let me scroll down a bit. Hope this is showing up for you. The last one that showed up as a review was issue 333. Since then, so you've got 334, 335, 336, 337, and then 338. 5 issues haven't been reviewed by critics, so they don't show up. But if you go into the user reviews, there we go, we've got scores. Now it's probably going to be just me or someone else. One person's been reviewing them because this is ridiculous. Look at that, 338, there you go, 8 out of 10, 7.5. We've got a 10 out of 10 here. That was a very generous one. That wasn't me, by the way. 10 and going down to 333, where that was the last one that was reviewed by the site. And it's not just one review on this site. As I say, they gather together, not huge, at least between 5 to 10 different comic book websites that review comics. So yeah, what is going on? And that's just one title, that's Spawn. Let me go back, I'll show you again. Look, critic ratings, not available. So that suggests it's not even released. You click onto it, the latest issue. Release date, February the 8th. So that was this week, yeah, that was yesterday, $2.99. No critic ratings have been found for this issue. And there you go, you got Wakizashi Grey. Does that sound familiar? My review is basically saying, why have the critics on here stopped reviewing some of the Spawn titles? This is a good issue. It's dedicated to the character Nyx, his backstory. It is pretty exposition heavy, but it's well written. And the art, and especially the colours, are very good. There's almost a fantasy style to this art in this issue. Recommended. And then I put a post comment here. Please drop me a comment if you see this review, because I want to know why this is happening. Now, okay, that's just one title, yeah? So let's go back to this week's reviews. And I'm going to go back 1 week. So last week, here we go. Let me scroll down to Image again. Last week we have... Okay. Last week, there's no Spawn title. You got Almighty, you got Blood Tree, Flawed, never heard of half of these. Nita Hawes, Nightmare Blog. You can see they've got like maybe 1 review each. Radiant Black, Rogue Sun, they're pretty popular. And Savage Dragon. There's nothing there under the Spawn titles, right? Now, what was out last week? Let me double check. I think it was King Spawn. Quick type in. Say, excuse me if I'm missing the chat, but I just want to get this out. It's going to be a short live stream. I want to let you know. King Spawn, average rating 9.2 out of 10. Very popular comic. It's selling very, very well. Where are we? Click on issue. You got 19, issue 18, issue 17. Look, not available. No critic scores. Go on to user ratings. There's 2 reviews for 19. It's got a 9.2 average. There's 1 review for 18. There are 3 for 17. What is going on? Seriously. Is there some kind of Spawn Comics boycott by, the supposed critics, in inverted commas, critics' websites? Now, I know not all critics, review Spawn. Most of them focus on Marvel and DC. There may be a few indies here and there, but you must know Spawn out there. It's a very famous comic. It's a very famous IP, a very famous property. No critic reviews, so there's no score, and it doesn't show up on the new release. So for a lot of people, you think, wow, the Spawn book's not out yet, and they don't even buy it because they don't know it's out. Then you've got Wakizashi Grey. Again, why have the critics on here stopped reviewing Spawn titles? Comicbook Roundup. And then a 10 out of 10 from Paul. Wow, very generous. Okay, that just gives you an idea. Stop sharing. get back to the stream. Hey, good. So, didn't miss any comments because it looks like there's nobody here, but I didn't think there would be at this time. You know, it's early morning for you, and it's getting towards bedtime for Gray. What time is it here? It's 9:45 p.m. Thursday night, and I'm normally hitting the sack, going to bed between 10:30 to 11. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I tell you, you know, it's so strange, don't you think? Do you think there's some kind of, and it's not conspiracy, I sound like a conspiracy nut, but it's like some of the sites have decided, okay, we're going to stop reviewing the Spawn titles for some reason, and they're not showing up as like even coming out. Hey, Nerdporial's in the chat, leaving for work in a few minutes. Mate, that's like me, you know, first early in the morning in my time when people are streaming, I'm like, hi, I'd love to like jump in for a bit, but I've got to go to work. Have a good day, mate. I hope you have a good day at work. And as always, don't work too hard. That's very important. So yeah, that was, to me, that is big news. Very strange. Kingspawn reviews. I'm going to go back to that site. I want to search for another one. So you must have heard of a comic called Gunslinger Spawn, yeah? Gunslinger. Now, as far as I know, this is the top selling out of the 4 current Spawn comics. Gunslinger Spawn is selling really well. See what we're up to. Okay, we're up to, doesn't say on there. We're up to issue 16. So just bear with me, I'm going to share one more time. There should be at least 3 or 4, maybe 5 critic reviews for it. Yeah, there should be, right? Hold on to your horses. So, issue 16 just came out recently. Let me check user. 3 user ratings. Actually, it doesn't get a great score there. It's a 7.2. It's not bad, not terrible. But critics, nothing. As far as they're concerned, it didn't come out. 15, there is a review. There's one critic rating. Then 14 again, it was skipped. Go back down. Let me scroll down and show you. Like in the beginning, there were 7, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3. Regularly, you know, between 3 and 4 critics were reviewing it every month. And then it dropped down to 1. Then from 14 onwards, well, 15 there was 1, but 14, 15, 16. This is Gunslinger Spawn. It's a huge title. You know, what are you doing? Click on user ratings and every issue's been rated. At least 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, you know. 8 at the beginning. There were 8, 8, 9, 12, because when a new title comes out, it's always very popular. So yeah, so strange. Oh, Neporial sent you a DM on Twitter. I have a good feeling about what is to come. Oh, great. That's great to hear, man. I'm just going to guess because I haven't seen Twitter. Is it to do with Nintendo Direct? Could it be? Or is it about Star Trek Picard? Because I've heard more good things about that, Neporial. I don't know about you. Not just from Robert Meyer Burnett, from a few people. Thank you very much for dropping the comment, and thanks for watching, mate. I really appreciate it. So yeah, that's Gunslinger. How bizarre. Let me click on the latest issue, issue 16. Lovely cover there by David Mack. No preview, you can't see the art, which you used to be able to. You could preview the first few pages, which you can with most comics on this site. Go on to use reviews. You got Wakizashi Gray, January 17th. So this was before I noticed that they'd stopped reviewing Spawn comics. You got 3 reviews there. One 5.5, 7.5. I was pretty generous with me 8.5, but I thought it was a really good issue. So your average score 7.2, which is fair. And there's one more. There's a title called The Scorched, which is a Spawn team book. Now this one for me hasn't been as good as the other 3. It's been a little bit hit and miss. It felt like the writer was trying to kind of get it, you know, get the team together, find his kind of feet with it. And what's interesting, it's the same writer who's writing Kingspawn, and he's very good on Kingspawn, Sean Lewis. I like him because he writes Kingspawn from a kind of horror angle. He brings back the horror to it, so really good. So there we go. Okay, this is the only one that has the latest issue reviewed, and it's only 1 review by a critic, issue 14. But if you look below that, you got 13, 12, 11 weren't even covered. That's 3 months. 3 months of the comic just ignored, so it wouldn't show up when people checked what was out this week. But if you go into user reviews, there's like 2, 1, 1, 1, 3, 2. You know, there are users who are reviewing it. Again, not massive numbers. I realise that because To be fair and to be honest, and maybe this is a bit mean, but it's true, Comicbook Roundup, it's had its day. It used to be a lot more popular, but it's become pretty famous as a bit of a shill site. As I say, you get all the same websites, not all of them, but the same ones keep giving comics huge scores, like 9.5s, 10s, for things that when you read it, you're like, what were you smoking when you gave that a score out of 10, like 10 out of 10, what crazy pills were you taking? Are you serious? Very, very strange. So let me have a look. I want to give an example of that. That's basically it. That's what I wanted to say about the Spawn comics. Is it a conspiracy? It could be. Or maybe it's just, people abandoning this review site. But as I say, okay, let's have a comparison. Let's pick a popular title. I showed Batman before. Let's go back to this week reviews. The DC ones probably are the most reviewed because they've been out since Tuesday. So say Batman had 13 reviews. Let's have a look at the, here we go. This is another good title, a really good one at the moment, Flash. The Flash comic has been great. It's up to issue 792. There's a writer called Jeremy Adams who's writing it, and he's been writing really well. This was recommended to me because I wasn't a Flash reader, but recommended by good friend Eric O'Sullivan and Wes from Thinking Critical. They were both saying the Flash has been great because it's a hopeful comic, it's a fun comic, it's optimistic, it's bright, it's colourful, and it's just very well written, and there's a lot of focus on family. You get the Flash family. Remember families, like proper families, like husband and wife and kids and a pet maybe? Yeah, it's really good. So let's scroll down and see. Critic reviews 9, user reviews 7. And starts off with a 10, you get a 10, a 9, 8.6, 8.5. Here we go, Weird Science again. Look out for Weird Science because that's the site I think I trust the most. There's a Weird Science for DC and a Weird Science for Marvel. They do them, both of the major publishing houses. They also cover manga as well. They do a great podcast on manga, which I recommend. Where are we? Scroll down a bit more. So they're pretty high scores. And then there's one, we'd say average is 1 for 6. Okay. But it is a popular comic, so, they are going to be good scores for that. Let's check the users to compare. Got 2 10s at the beginning. Look at that. 10, 10, 9.5. Another 2 10s, 8.5 and 8. So very popular. Doing really well. Now, as a way of comparing, let me pick a not so popular, maybe a not greatly reviewed comic. Let me scroll through. Could be that Joker one, could it? Okay. No, I can't really find it. Okay, let me go back. There's a really good Joker called Joker, Batman and the Joker, Deadly Duo. That's a great comic. That's worth checking out. And there's a not so great one. I'm going to click on here. This is Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing. Now, look at this straight away. You got the critic rating, 7.8 out of 10. Not too bad. User rating, 2.5. That's a huge difference. So check the first few reviews on the critics, and you've got a 10, a 9, 8.7, 8.5, 8.58, so high scores. Batman News, which is usually very, very honest, 3 out of 10. Let's have a quick read. Believe it or not, I wanted to give this comic a better score. I don't want to be negative about DC all the time. When I feel like a comic story lacks progression and is just wasting my time month to month, however, how can I give the comic a good rating? These pages aren't worth your pennies, if you know what I mean. 3 out of 10 from Batman News. But then, compare that to, this series has been wonderful, Dark Knight News. Enthralling, firing on all cylinders. By the way, this is the series that had that controversial, not really pregnant Joker backup story in the last issue. With all we saw unfold in Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, the next issue promises to be a nuke. Really, really liking it. And one more, Lyle's Movie Files, who always gives hugely high scores. Rosenberg keeps shifting expectations with this title, with more surprises and a big cliffhanger reveal at the end of the main story. It's been a fun ride so far, and this issue wraps with plenty of intrigue to set up the next instalment. So they sound great, don't they? 2 really strongly positive reviews. Let's have a look at the users. I don't know. I can guess what some of you might be going to say. Come on, these people could be just like spam reviewing or trolling the reviews, but I read the last issue of the Joker, Man Who Stopped Laughing. It was not good. It was clunky. It was wasn't well written. There were weird use of the characters. The characters' voices were strange. And then the weird backup story with just a very unpleasant feeling to it. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so we get 7 out of 10. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's fair. It's okay if you like Joker. This issue moves forward a little better than the last I just said about that. But it's still way too expensive. The backup story, that was one again from last month with a not so, but almost pregnant Joker. They say pregnant, but you know what it was about? He'd swallowed a load of mud and he gave birth. Well, he basically puked up a mud baby. It was just horrible. Like, ugh, creepy. This, by the way, is $5.99. $5.99. They mentioned the price there. Okay, there's a review in Spanish here, which unfortunately, I can't really understand well. But this guy or girl gave it a 1 out of 10. Next one, DC Fan Assault says 1 out of 10. Nothing of a book with nothing at all going on. Rosenberg is a mid-writer at best and will be forgotten in a couple of years. There we go. So you've got a big difference between the critics and the user scores. Let me get back to here. Hey Mags, how you doing? Listening while getting ready for work. Smash that like button, you all. Yeah, all 3 of you out there, please hit the like button. That'd be awesome. No, I'm joking. As I say, I know this is not a convenient time, but I wanted to get this out because it was like, for me, big news today. Yeah. It's almost like the critics are boycotting the Spawn comics. Controversial, right? Unbelievable. So that was it. Let me stop sharing that. That's a comic book roundup. As I say, to be fair, maybe it's not a dying site, but it's nowhere near as popular as it used to be. It doesn't get half as many reviews from both critics and users as it used to. And I always focus more on the user reviews, apart from, as I say, you'll find a couple of critics who will give you an honest take. You follow them, check their reviews first, and then check their users. And you can usually spot people who are, spamming reviewing or trolling it. It's very easy to spot. Just click on their avatar, and you see what scores they give to certain comics and what scores they give to other comics. A lot of the time, it depends on the writer, to be honest. It's weird. Some users out there, some reviewers just hate certain writers. It's very strange. Okay, so I'm going to show another website. So that was the comic book roundup, the one that I focused on in the story, the one that's not reviewing pretty much all 4 Spawn comic books. Unbelievable. There's a much better review site, a much better website. This doesn't feature critic reviews. It features mostly user reviews, readers' reviews. So I think you get a much, a much more neutral, a much more less biased take on this one. And it's a great site for letting you know what's coming out. So I'm going to share my screen again. Won't be a second. Just bear with me. New comics this week. Okay, here we go. In case Grey Robots, I'm going to drop a quick clip as well after I share this, so bear with me a second. I've got a new clip to show. No, I don't have a new clip. Oh no, it's not new. Oh well, never mind. Let me drop this one. That was my reaction when I saw that the Spawn comics were not even showing up as new releases on that last website, Comic Book Roundup, but on this website, a really, really good site called leagueofcomicgeeks.com. Check it out. We've got the new releases here. So straight away you can see, and they put them in order of basically popularity, the order of the number of people who have put these on their pull lists. That's as far as I know. So Batman's first, then The Flash. You've got Amazing Spider-Man, Daredevil, Star Wars Darth Vader. That's quite high up there. It was surprising. Poison Ivy, and then Spawn. It's here. It's, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the 7th most popular comic this month. The ones that people have put in their pull list. That means the ones that they're going to either order, they're going to read, pretty much, definitely. Let's click on it and see. It's only been out since yesterday. See what kind of reviews are there. Again, it's a lovely David Mack cover. If you don't know the artist, check out David Mack Kabuki. He's done a few collections of that. He started off in black and white years ago. He's got a really cool kind of arty style. I like it. A mixture of, it starts off in just ink, black and white, but then he brings in colours and different paints, a little bit of collage. Yeah, very cool. Okay, we'll scroll down. Check reviews. As I say, it only came out yesterday, Wednesday. So we got, oh, Wakizashi 33, he looks familiar. There's a review from me and one other person reviewed it. That's all. Someone else has commented it, looking forward to the David Mack cover. So there we go. That's the Spawn one. Let me show you another title to give you an idea. So let's go with Batman, yeah? Because that's been out for a couple of days now. Let's see how many reviews for here. And I'll compare it to the last one, you know, comic book Roundup. Let's scroll down. Okay, this is user reviews. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, who's this? Wakizashi 33. I know him. I think he's pretty cool. Bit of an idiot sometimes, but, you know, can't help but love him. I've lost count now. What an idiot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going. 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, we're still going, 15, 16, 17, 18 reviews, 18 user reviews. And this is a fairly newish site. It's nowhere near as established as Comicbook Roundup, which I've been not raging about, but saying I think they're really unfairly treating the Spawn comics. They're not featuring any reviews from, in quotes, official critics. So the books are not showing up in new releases. It's like there aren't any Spawn books out. How insane is that when it's the 7th most popular comic this week? If it was Gunslinger, it'd probably be higher. Yeah, just crazy. But a lot more reviews here from users, a lot of discussion. Look at all this. People like bringing out, asking questions, talking about it, getting excited about the comics. It's a really good site and I highly recommend it. This is the free version. I think there's a premium version too, but you hardly get any ads. It's very, very good. Yeah, so let's go back to the new comics this week. I just love seeing all the covers as well, don't you? I'm such a geeky nerd, I know. So yeah, going down, look at all these comics that are out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 to a row. Go down a bit, we've got more Batman, so many Batman titles. This is that really good one. Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo. Do you say duo or duo? This is already up to issue 4. It's gorgeous. It's beautifully illustrated by Mark Silvestri. He's also writing it too. I think he's been working on this for years. I'm not joking, like years. And it shows. It's beautiful. I've been so happy to be able to get physical copies of this. I can order it from that one comic book store in Tokyo, which do mail order deliveries for certain limited titles. So let's have a look. Out of interest, how many reviews are there for this? Probably not as many as the main Batman title. No, okay, we've got 2. We've got 2 user reviews, and we've got a discussion topics here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different topics of discussion about it. But I say it's gorgeous. Recommended if you're looking for a kind of old-fashioned style, proper Batman detective story. Can you believe he's kind of teaming up with the Joker? Really cool. Okay, let me get back. Oh my God, there's some comments. There are people here. Unbelievable. How are you doing? Let me stop sharing. Keely Chow, great to see you. Hey everybody, good morning. Joseph Dredd, how are you, man? Good to see you. Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. Yes, it is Thursday. What do you call it? It's the almost the end of Thursday for me. It's 10 p.m, just gone 10, and looking good. Oh my God, Nerdporio, I've just seen it on the live chat on the YouTube studio because it doesn't show up on StreamYard, mate. I'm sorry. Nerdporio gifted a membership. You star. Ginger Ninja. He's going to be furious. Like, he was angry last time. No, I'm joking. He wasn't really. He was just joking. But he's like, how do I get rid of this gifted membership? He tried to return it and they charged him 200 yen. Again, it's a joke. Great to see you. No way. What's going on? Yeah, just talking about the one of the main comic book review sites, which is called Comicbook Roundup. Not a great site, to be honest. These days, it's pretty much half full of official shills, critics who have to give comics really good high scores, or they stop getting their free review copies. Just saying, that is a true thing. There are some sites on there like Weird Science, DC and Weird Science Comics who do honest reviews. Also Batman News, that's 3 to look out for. But yeah, they're not reviewing the Spawn books. Spawn, Keely. Napoleon Joseph. Spawn is a huge, huge comic now. It's, as I say, it's had a resurge in popularity after the launch of Spawn Universe. There's 4 different comics now in the Spawn Universe. And over the last 2 to 3 months, that site has stopped featuring reviews by the critics. So that means it doesn't show up in new releases. If people are only checking that website, they're like, oh, wait a minute, the Spawn's not out this week. Oh, it must be next week. And they don't go out and buy it. So they're losing sales because of this. Now, as I say, again, it's not a massive site. It's not that popular. So I don't think they're losing that many. What do you think? Is it just me? Am I thinking too much? Am I being too comic book geeky? Could be. Have a great day. Good luck at work, Napoleon. I hope you're good. And thank you again for that membership. You were fighting the war of generosity. I'll have to return fire next time I see one of your streams. Next time I'm able to actually, watch it live when I'm not at work. Crazy time difference, Japan, but I'm not complaining. Great to see you. Oh, Joseph's saying, okay, Todd says he's working on a Spawn v Batman. Well, Joseph, one came out recently. It was only, I think it was December. And despite the really nice art, the story was a little bit disappointing. And that's me being quite fair. I'm pretty cautiously optimistic. I am, maybe overly positive, some would argue. I dropped a review on my channel, so unless he's doing a sequel to that, because I'm sure that was a huge seller. People bought it just for the covers, and there were many, many covers. I got a great one for that. I think it was the Jason Fabok cover. Beautiful. Yeah, so I wonder, I'd say it probably doesn't affect sales that much because you've got these long-term, hardcore Spawn fans who are just going to buy it every month, no matter what. And you can't argue with Spawn. You're talking $2.99 when we just had that. One example was not the really good Batman Joker comic book, the Deadly Duo, not that, which is awesome, and that's only $4.99, and it's worth it. It's gorgeous quality, great paper, cardstock cover, beautiful art. The other one, the Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, which is you're getting charged $5.99 for that, and you get a backup story which is completely bonkers and bizarre and sometimes unpleasant, not fun to read. So yeah, strange. Now, while I'm going on this crazy waffle, let me go back to this is the good website, yeah? This is the League of Comic Geeks. I want to give you an example. This is just this week. How many Batman-related titles are out? Come on, let's do it. Let's go really geeky. Let's count them together. Let me share my screen again one more time. Okay, is that showing? Looking good. Here we go. So we've got, of course, the main Batman title came out. Then we'll go along. So that's one. We've got Poison Ivy, a Batman villain, and Harley Quinn's in there too. So that's 2. Next line. Batman Joker Deadly Duo. That's 3 Batman titles, or Batman related. The Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, which is not good at all. I don't recommend it. That's 4. Go along a little bit. Gotham City, Year 1. Now, I've heard good things about this, even though I think it's Tom King writing that. Less said about Tom King, the better. That's 5. Lazarus Planet, I don't think Batman's in that, but there are Batman-related heroes, so that's 6. DC Comics Lazarus Planet, Next Evolution, that's 6, yeah? Losing count. Go along. Oh, the new Alien's out. That last one was pretty good. I might look out for that. Okay, that could be it. That's 6. And that's just 1 week. Think about that times 4 in a month. You could be getting like 20 or 20, more. Between 20, 25 Batman-related titles in 1 month. Not missing any, have a note. Keep going. Even some of the DCs are down here, not the less popular ones. No, I think that's it. So there we go. That's this week. That's 6. Okay. Let's have a look for next week. Here we go. Everything goes weird and freezes. Okay. Next week we have Batman White Knight, Beyond the White Knight. That's 1. Batgirls. That's 2. And here's Gunslinger Spawn. 6, 7, 8. In 9th place. So very popular, as you can see. Keep going for Batman. Nope, nothing there. Only 2. Wow, it's a quiet month. Oh, I Am Batman. Here we go. 3. Another Lazarus Planet book. That's 4 because there are Batman or Batman-related villains in there. Danger Street. I think that's got... Is that Gotham? Maybe not Gotham. It could be, but maybe not. So no, I won't count that. Batman Incorporated. Wow, that's right down here. That's 5. Wildcats, no. Okay. Oh, look at this. The new nightclub's out next week. Awesome. That's the Mark Millar Image Comics one. Oh, Nemesis Reloaded. Oh, Mamma Mia, they're both out the same week. Oh, wow. That's going to be tough for me for reviewing. Here we go. Another Batman. Batman, The Adventures Continue. I've lost count now, but I think that's 6. Batman and Scooby-Doo. 7. Right down here. Not the bottom, but it's pretty far down for a DC Comics Batman-related title. I think that's it. Oh no, Batman and Spawn Unplugged. 7. Or 8. Grey can't count. Unbelievable. Still here. So great to see you in the chat. As I say, this is going to be a short live stream. It was mainly to talk about the topic, are the Spawn comics being ignored by Comicbook Roundup? Again, let me show that one more time before I finish. Yeah, Comicbook Roundup. As I say, I used to check that a lot when I started buying comics again a few years ago, getting back into them. And it was pretty good for the user reviews, especially. But they've stopped showing the Spawn comics. Stopped reviewing them. Really strange. Yeah, let's see. Okay. So are you good? Oh, nice one, Joseph. I just bookmarked League of Comic Geeks. Yeah, I recommend it. It's not perfect. It's a little bit buggy at times. It's but they're working on it, and it feels much more like a kind of comic book community. You get it's more like a social networking site where you can share reviews, make friends, follow different reviewers, different users basically. It's not a critic shill site, so you get a great mix of opinions. There's like a feed, like in like a Facebook feed, so people post all sorts of things on there, photos of their comics or sharing information, sharing interviews and stuff. Recommend it. Very good site. League of Comic Geeks. I think there might be there must be a phone app as well for it. But comic book reviews at Comic Book Roundup, I don't know what's happened to them. They are losing it. They really are. So before I finish, let me share one more time to show you, to remind you. Here we go. Comic Book Roundup. This week's reviews. Click on them to see them all. Even some of the smallest companies like Black Mask. It's showing. Their release is showing. The 3 Boom comics. Look at that, Dune. Boom are doing the Dune comics. They've got the license for Dune, and 4.6. Not good, and that's for a collection. Dark Horse still going. As I say, there's quite a lot of comics by them, but again, they're only getting 1, 2. A couple have got 5. Well, there's one here with 5 reviews. DC have got the highest numbers of reviews, but Scooby-Doo, where are you? Only gets 1. Dynamite, just 3. Red Sonja, Vampirella, Dynamite have those licenses. Fantagraphics, which I think is probably manga, English manga. Graphics, I don't even know this comic book company, but theirs is showing. IDW, 1 review for Sonic the Hedgehog, 1 for TMNT, and then we get to Image, the publisher of Spawn, and there's no sign of it. It's not even there, not listed. Crazy. How crazy is that? Go down again, got Mad Cave, a very small indie publishing company. Marvel with the most releases. Oh dear, Alien's not got a good score, has it? I was quite looking forward to reading that this year, because last month was pretty good. Look at all those Marvel comics. Wow, that's a lot. How many is that? That's just this week. You got to forgive me for counting. I know it's a bit boring, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to Joe Fixit. Joe Fixit is great, by the way. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 floppies, so 21 individual issues and then 2 collections. That's just this week. You wonder why the comic book industry is supposedly in great health. It's not, not struggling. You wonder, don't you? Oni Press, Oni 1. 2 reviews there. My Life Among Humans. Again, that's a manga. Source Point Press, Little Red Ronin. Sounds quite cool. Titan, still going. They're doing the Blade Runner comics. They've got the Blade Runner license for 2049. They're doing different like years, like this 2039 series. I've heard they're pretty good, but with so many things to read, it's really hard to keep up, isn't it? Then Yen Press with another manga, and finally Zenoscope with, they're doing the Brothers Grimm based titles, Van Helsing. So there you go. Comics you've never even heard of, but you've heard of Spawn, right? And you can't even find it. It doesn't show up because the critics aren't reviewing it. That's so weird. Okay, great. Let me stop sharing. 40 minutes, perfect. I'm going to wrap things up. So thank you so much for watching and listening. I really appreciate it. Apologies for going on a bit of a wakizashi comic book geek waffle. But yeah, I really wanted to get this out before I went to bed tonight. And keep your eyes out for a new issue of Amazing Spider-Man, which I'll have my review, hopefully, uploaded before I go to bed tonight. He says hopefully. I've finished it. I recorded it. I've just about finished editing it. All I've got to do now is check the background music is not too loud, or I've got to bring that down a little bit, and then get it up on YouTube, get the thumbnail made. Doesn't take long now, and of course description, that kind of takes a while, and yeah, it'll be there. And I tell you, it's worth watching the review. I tell you, I've got a few things to say about Spider-Man, let's just say that. And it's not a raving grey. I don't really rage, I'm not into that, but let's just say a lot of Spider-Man fans out there are not happy with the way the current series is going. Not happy at all. Where are we? Do you know what I need? I tell you what, I could do with this.
I must have some booze. I demand to have some booze! I wouldn't drink that if I was you. Why not?
Because I don't advise it. Even the wankers on the site wouldn't drink that. That's worse than meth.
Nonsense. This is a far superior drink to meths.
Yes, there we go. So, great to see you. I really appreciate you watching this kind of inconvenient time. It's been brilliant. I've enjoyed having a bit of a waffle. I hope to see you in a future video. I hope you have a great day, a great Thursday, wherever you are. If you're in the UK and Europe, who hardly ever watch my channel for some reason, I hope you have a nice afternoon. And in Japan, if Ginger Ninja's still there, I think he's gone now. He got gifted that membership by Nerdporial. He ran away like panicking. No, another one. I don't want to be a member of Gray's channel. Oh my God. So yeah, all it leaves for me to say is this is Gray from Wakizashi's Tea House, signing off for the night. And instead of my regular thank you for watching, I'm going to go out on a ninja clip, because the world can always do with more ninjas.